something I really appreciate and admire with the show is the use of colors. I really appreciate when they're loud, when they're quiet, when they're dull, when they're bright, especially with the representation that they show, especially with different characters, and it's really beautiful to see. Like you can see like, the different layers, even in a character where they will lighten a color up on them and around them, and I just imagine how long this took to make. And the story is also getting really interesting. That it always does. This show really loves to end, and I don't know if it's every single Chinese drama that does this. Maybe it is, but they love to end on that little nugget of you wanting more, don't they? They just revert to that little bit at the end. What a place to end it. I really like watching them together because they're small, short episodes. They're not very long, so they get to the crux of things. And seeing Hai Chang help him so much, and I guess he felt something kindred within Xilian. And it's just watching them together was really nice. And then obviously the man came back when he helped him, and it's brought believers, and they mentioned about being tied, worshippers and believers being tied to them. That was really good. So he's getting what he wanted, and in this instance, we're seeing different sides of Huai Hong to what they said he's actually like. But he did say he wasn't nice when he was human. So it's so fascinating because we're watching them work together, build things together, communicate. The way the subtitles are saying certain things that they're saying to one another, you can read in between the lines. They do a lot again of the eyes, and things are shifting. But of course, you've always got to be in the back of your mind, not to let go of what still is to come and can happen. Especially because at the end, there, like, that man came and he just collapsed, and you have to find out what happened to him. And they want the god to heal him and stuff like that, but he has ascended more than once. And he said before that he isn't at the same as he was before. So we'll see what happens here. But yeah, it's not going to be any more quiet. And they came really quickly. And as word spreads, as you see, more people come. And I really liked what they did with the ghosts, which was you never saw their faces; they were cloaked. Plus, they made them, which they do a lot in shows, especially cartoons and animation and things like that. Made their voice shriller, more dastardly sounding, and that's something they do all the time. They make that so that they are the bad guys because the bad guys are supposed to sound shrill and high voice and different and evil. And then obviously that moment where Huai Chang and his eyes went red, and they realized who he was, and it's like, okay, yeah, you need to go. And then trying to watching Xiliang, watching him have an inner monologue and us hear it, and him trying to figure out how he's a ghost and about him and his rankings, and Xilian not being able to figure it all out. I like it, and also being caught staring. There's a lot of looks and staring, and then kind of the idea of blushing and looking away and being caught. I just really find it really interesting. It's one of these shows that I honestly could binge watch the whole thing. I'm having to stop myself from doing that so that I take the time to take it in and enjoy it and not just go for everything too quickly. And that way, when things happen, it's more of a shock. Really good, once again, episode. Thank you for watching.